Hey, my lovely students, I'm back with the new video in the video series Linear Equations in One Variable. In this video, we are going to solve the questions from ML Aggarwal textbook of class 8. So please watch the entire video. And before starting the video, don't forget to click on the like button and do subscribe. If you find any difficulty, do comment me under the comment section. I will be there with the solution of your questions. So let's quickly start. So here we have first question from ML Aggarwal, 5x minus 3 is equal to 3x minus 1. Now, as we have already done with two steps equation, if you see in this equation, we have two operations that are involved. Here we have one operation that is multiplication. And on the other hand, if you see, we have one more operation that is subtraction. And if you see both the sides of this equation, so here also we have this first operation that is subtraction, and here also we have the other operation that is multiplication. So means multiplication and subtraction we have two times. So whenever we have this kind of questions, what we do, the first step you need to do is to bring the variables and the constants on one side. So let's bring the variable parts and the constant part on one side of the equation. So as you can see over here, we have 5x. So let's keep 5x over here only. And if you remember, we have already done about the undo of the operations. Now, if you see here with this particular expression, we have positive sign, which is hidden, right? So when you transpose, the transpose method we have already done in the previous video. So if you are not aware of that, please watch the previous videos related with this chapter. So when we transpose this plus 3x, on the other hand, it would be minus 3x. Undo of the operation. The plus will be converted into minus. Now, if you see, here, I will just put the equal sign as it is this with the equation. And on the right hand side of the equation, we have minus 5. So whatever is there, I will copy as it is, minus 5. Now this minus 3 is left. What to do with this minus 3, right? This minus 3, again, we are going to transpose. We are going to transpose on the right hand side. So here, as this is with minus sign. So when you undo the operation, it would be yes, plus. So here when it will be transposed, it would be plus 3. Now, if you see both the sides of the equation, this side we have two terms and this side we have two terms. And both the terms here we have attached with the variable that is x, and here we have only the constants, right? Now we can easily solve it. Let's see how. 5x minus 3x, we all know we have 2x is equal to. Now, if you remember the integer concepts, I'm just showing you over here. You all know 5 plus 3 is 8. If I write minus 5 plus 3, definitely minus and plus would be minus, right? So it would be 2 because 5 minus 3 is 2. And as we have this negative sign with the number which is higher amongst both, so I'm going to put over here minus. So here this will be minus 2. Now, if you see, this is simple one-step equation which we have already learned how to do. In this one-step equation, we have only one operation that is attached, which is multiplication, right? So how can we get rid? How can we get rid with this number 2 which is attached with this variable x? By undo the operation, right? So you need to undo this operation, and when you undo, so we are left with the number x is equal to minus 2, which was on the right hand side. I'm going to just copy that, and that undo when we do, so this multiplication will be converted into division. Very good. So minus 2 upon 2. And if you can see on the left hand side, on the left hand side, we are left with the variable x, the unknown, which we need to find. So x is equal to, when you divide minus 2 by 2, it would be minus 1. So in this way, we can easily solve our question, right? So let's start with the second part of question 1. 3x minus 7 is equal to 3 into 5 minus x. Now, let's see first of all, the first step to check the number of operations involved. Now, first step is to check the number of operations involved in the question. Let's see. Here, if you see, we have one operation, which is multiplication. Here, we have subtraction, which is the second operation. And now if you see here, this 3 is getting multiplied with this one group. If you are not aware of the groups, again, please watch the previous videos. So here, when we have some numbers within the bracket, it means it frames one complete group. So 5 minus x completely is getting multiplied with number 3. So here we have the concept of bracket as well, right? So if you see, when we have more than 2 operations involved in an equation, so first of all, let's solve the left hand side and the right hand side separately as an expression, and let's bring that expression into the equation, two-step equation, and then we know how to solve the two-step equation. So let's completely bring our question in two-step equation by solving both the sides separately as an expression. Remember the difference between the expression and the equation. When we solve the equation, we have to undo the operations, and when we solve the expression, we need to follow the BODMAS. Yes, so right now we are going to solve the expression separately on both the sides. So let me write 3x minus 7 as it is on the left hand side and is equal to, on the right hand side, if you see, there is one bracket which is involved. So let's open it first, because we know in BODMAS we are going to open the brackets first, right? Now, when you open the bracket, very important thing, where the students commit mistake, kahan par sabse zyada galti hoti hai? You see, many students, वो क्या करते हैं? They simply multiply this 3 by number 5. वो 3 को सिर्फ 5 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, इस 3 को x से मल्टीप्लाई नहीं करते हैं. So you are not going to commit this mistake. Let's see how. First of all, I'm going to multiply this 3 with number 5, and then I'm going to multiply this 3 with number minus x. Yes, very important thing over here that we are considering, हम लोग क्या करेंगे, सारे ही नंबर्स को या वेरिएबल्स को उनके साइन के साथ लेंगे. डोंट फॉरगेट द साइंस. साइंस का अपना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होता है मैथ्स में. यस, ऑलराइट. सो व्हेन यू मल्टीप्लाई 3 by number 5, it would be 15. 3 into 5, we all know that is 15. Let me use the same color. अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है ऐसे, अभी ठीक है. Now 3 into minus x, not 3 into x, 3 into minus x. 3 into minus x is minus 3x. Now if you see, we have opened the brackets, right? Now previous question, what we have done, हम लोगों ने वेरिएबल्स और कॉन्स्टेंट्स दोनों को सेपरेटली एक एक साइड में किया था. सेम थिंग यहां भी करेंगे. तो वेरिएबल्स और कॉन्स्टेंट्स को एक एक साइड में करने के लिए हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा? This implies whatever is written on the left hand side, जो भी लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में उसको तो लिखना ही पड़ेगा. अब राइट हैंड वाले साइड में जो वेरिएबल का पार्ट है उसको हम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में लाएंगे, राइट? और आपको याद होगा ट्रांसपोज मेथड में जब हम किसी भी नंबर को या किसी भी वेरिएबल को ट्रांसपोज करते हैं, वो अपनी प्लेस को छोड़ के दूसरी जगह पे जाता है, तो डेफिनेटली उससे कुछ तो लॉस होगा ना. और क्या लॉस था? साइन का. यस, you're right. Plus will be changed into minus. Minus will be changed into plus. Multiplication will be changed into division, and division will be changed into, yes, multiplication. So here, if you see, this is minus 3x. जब ये अपनी साइड चेंज करेगा तो क्या हो जाएगा? Plus 3x, right, is equal to. अब देखो 15 तो अपनी जगह पे बैठा ही हुआ है राइट हैंड साइड में. It is not going to change its place. So I will be writing 15. Now what is left over here? Only minus 7. Definitely this minus 7 we have to bring on the right hand side, because this is a number and numbers we are taking on the right hand side. So minus 7 जब अपनी जगह छोड़ के opposite side में आएगा तो इसका साइन चेंज हो जाएगा और ये क्या हो जाएगा? plus 7, right? Now simply we can solve. We can easily add variables and constants. So variables, 3x plus 3x, we all know 6x is equal to 15 plus 7, all of you know, that is 22, right? Now which equation? If you remember, let me mention over here, one-step equation. Why one step? You can easily see the number of operations, only one operation, multiplication. So now we are going to solve our equation. And when we solve our equation, we have to undo the operations. We have to isolate this x to find the value of x. अब इसको अकेले कैसे करेंगे? How to get rid with this number 6? Remember? Yes, you're right. We have to undo the operation, and here the 6 is attached with x with multiplication sign. So when I'm going to isolate this x, this 6 will be divided on the right hand side. So the answer is x is equal to 22 by 5. I hope everyone understood this in a well way. So now let's move on the next question, question number 2. So question number 2 is 4 into 2x plus 1 is equal to 3 into x minus 1 plus 7. Now, as I told you in the last question that we are going to solve both the sides separately as an expression first. And when we solve the expression, remember, we have to follow the BODMAS. And as per the BODMAS rule, सबसे पहले क्या solve करेंगे? Yes, brackets. So let's open the bracket. In the previous question, I told you how to open. If you remember, this 4 is getting multiplied with 2x. और इस 4 को +1 से भी मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा. प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस थिंग अगेन एंड अगेन. आई एम टेलिंग यू, यहाँ पे बहुत से लोग मिस्टेक्स करते हैं. नाउ ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड सेम वे 3 को पहले x से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे एंड देन 3 विल बी मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 1. नो, -1. रिमेंबर, साइंस को नहीं भूलना है. -1 is 1, -1 is -1. अगर -1 को 1 बोलेंगे तो -1 बुरा भी मान सकता है, क्योंकि -1 हमारी नंबर लाइन में 0 के लेफ्ट में आता है और 1 0 के राइट में आता है. डोंट फॉरगेट दिस थिंग. ऑलराइट, सो लेट्स start by opening the brackets. So 4 into 2x, yes, 8x. 4 into +1 will be +4 is equal to 3 into x, 3x, and 3 into -1 will be -3. And we are going to copy this number 7 as it is. Yes. Next step, if you see, we have to bring the variables on one side and the constants on the other side, as we were doing in the previous questions. So let's write first, that is 8x. Now leave this +4. And we have to see the right hand side where we get this particular term with this variable 3x. Now when we transpose 3x on the left hand side, what we need to do? Undo the operation. Remember, undo the operation. And here which sign we have? Plus. इसको यहाँ ले जाने में क्या करना पड़ेगा? Minus. Yes, -3x. Now I will put is equal to, क्योंकि अब सारे variables left hand side में पहुंच गए हैं. अब जाएंगे हम राइट हैंड साइड में. राइट हैंड साइड में जाने में क्या देखा? -3 + 7. yes, -3 + 7 we can simply solve first of all, that is 4. Yes. Now if you see on the left hand side, we have one number, that is +4. When we transpose +4 to right hand side, it would be -4. Yes. Now see, variables on the left hand side, numbers on the right hand side, all the things are sorted. So 8x minus 3x would be 5x is equal to 4 minus 4. We all know 0. Now, last step, this became what? This became one-step equation. Right? Why? Because if you see, we have number and a variable, and the hidden sign between them is multiplication. So we need to isolate x. We need to get rid with this number 5, which is attached to variable x. How? X is equal to 0 upon 5. Yes, this multiplication will be undo in the operation division. So this 5 will come under number 0. And we know when we divide 0 by any number, we will be getting 0. So what is the value of x? 0. Let's move to the second part of this question. Let's start with this question, which is 3 into 2p minus 1 is equal to 5 minus 3p minus 2. Right? So let's solve the expression separately on both hand side first of all. So on the left hand side, if we see, we have to open the bracket. Again, I'm telling you this 3 into 2p and then this 3 into minus 1. Right? So let's do 3 into 2p, we all know 6p, as 3 into 2 is 6. And 3 into minus 1 would be minus 3. Now, bracket is removed. Now, right hand side, we will be copying number 5 and how to open this bracket without any number. See, let me explain you first of all this. You all know if we do not have any number outside the bracket, we have the hidden 1 over here, because when we multiply any number by 1, we will be getting the same number, right? So basically, if we see, we have minus 1 integer outside the bracket. Same process if we do, so we have to do this minus 1 into 3p, minus 1 into minus 2, right? So when we do minus 1 into 3p, it would be minus 3p, and minus 1 into minus 2, it would be plus 2, because we all know minus minus is plus, right? This is one way. This is basically the logic of the question, but we have shortcuts in maths. So as a simple trick, you can remember in this way, if you have the minus sign outside any bracket, so what you can simply do, you can simply open the bracket, write down the numbers, and whatever whatever operation sign is there inside the bracket, we need to simply change that sign and we are done with our bracket opening. Yes, now if you compare this and this, which we have done, both are same. Yes, so minus 3p plus 2 and here also minus 3p plus 2. Simply, how can you understand? Whenever you have only minus sign outside the bracket, simply open the bracket and whatever signs are involved inside the bracket, just undo those signs. In the same way, plus will be converted into minus and minus will be converted into plus. As you have seen over here within bracket, we have this minus sign only. So I changed this minus into plus. That's it. All right. Yes, these are the small tricks which makes our calculation easy. So now let's continue with the question. So here, if you see again, we are on the same page. हमें variables को one side में लाना है और constants को again other side में ले जाना है. तो 6p, and if you see on the right hand side, we have minus 3p. So when it will be coming over here, change in sign. So plus 3p is equal to, now if you see, we have two numbers on the right hand side, 5 plus 2. Simply solve it, 7. And now this minus 3 we have to bring on the, yes, right hand side. So this will be plus 3. Now 6p plus 3p, 9p is equal to 7 plus 3, 10. So p would be what? 10 upon 9. How 10 upon 9? Because we have to bring this 9 on the other hand side as a division, as it is getting multiplied with number 9. Clear? So this is the value of p. Let's move on the next question. So next question is 5y minus 2 into y minus 3 into y minus 5 is equal to 6. So many operations on the left hand side expression. So let's start with opening the brackets only. Now, if you see over here, we have two types of bracket. What are they? Now, if you remember in the previous classes, we have seen that we have basically these three brackets. Yes. And what is the order of solving these brackets? This bracket is known as the small bracket. This is curly. And this is big bracket or square bracket. Right. So the operation is, as this is a small, इसको पहले कर लेते हैं, otherwise लड़ाई करेगा. आपने भी देखा होगा घर में छोटे भाई बहनों को ज्यादा privilege मिलता है, right? So small, then curly, and last big. So let's start in this order only. I will be copying as it is till I will reach to this small bracket. Now I reached. Now if you see this is small bracket with this, ये number -3 attach है, तो bracket open करने का process हम सबको पता है, simply multiplying. All right, so y, now -3 is getting multiplied by y, so it would be -3y, -3 getting multiplied by -5, it would be +15 is equal to 6. अब क्या करना है, बिग ब्रैकेट ओपन करना है। तो बिग ब्रैकेट को ओपन करने से पहले देख लेते हैं इसके अंदर अगर कुछ सॉल्व हो पाए। यस, वी कैन सॉल्व। y -3y -2y +15 is equal to 6. Now let's open the bracket. In the same way, this will be multiplied with this and this will be multiplied with this. So 5y -2 into -2y would be +4y. I'm just writing for you separately to make you understand. -2 into -2y. If you remember, we have done this when we do multiplication operation. So we need to simply multiply 2 into 2, that is 4, and y, and minus in minus will be plus, so +4y. All right, let's get back. So now -2 into +15. So plus minus -15 into 2, 30 is equal to 6. If you see over here, the same steps we reached. 5y plus 4y, 9y minus 30 is equal to 6. Two-step equation. Remember, and we all know how to solve two-step equation. If you have any confusion, do watch my previous videos of this chapter. So here as we have multiplication and here as we have subtraction. So first of all, we need to decide the order of operation. So order of operation we need to undo. It means we are going to solve minus first. And when we will transpose this on the right hand side, it would become +30. So this implies 9y is equal to 36. Now one step equation. So we need to get rid with this number 9, which is attached to with y, the variable y, because we need to isolate y, right? तो क्या करना पड़ेगा, y is equal to, जब इसको हटाएंगे, this is getting multiplied with y, तो other side में ये क्या हो जाएगा, simply divide, and this will become 4. So what is the value of 4? So what is the value of y? 4, right? So in this way, we can easily solve our question. Now let's move to the next question. So our next question is 0.3 into 6 minus x is equal to 0.4 into x plus 8. Let's start by solving the expression separately on both hand sides. So this implies, let's multiply because we are going to open the bracket. So 0.3 into 6 and 0.3 into minus x. Yes. So when you multiply 0.3 by 6, we all know 6 into 3 is 18, right? And if you see the decimal places, we have one decimal place over here. So decimal will be placed before one digit, right? Here we have recalled our previous concepts of decimal chapter. Now 0.3 into minus x would be minus 0.3 x is equal to 0.4 into x. We all know 0.4x. And 0.4 into 8, again what? 8 into 4, we know, yes, 32. And we have to see the decimal places, only one decimal place, so 3.2. Now, if you see, we have these two terms with variables and these two are only constants. So let's bring the variables on one side and the constants on other side. So when you bring here, if you see, we have minus 0.3x, ऐसे कैसे लिख देंगे, फिर क्या करना है, राइट हैंड साइड में जाना है और 0.4x को लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में लेके आना है। जब उसको खींच के लेके आएंगे तो खींचने में उसका साइन चेंज हो जाएगा और ये प्लस किस में चेंज हो जाएगा, माइनस में, माइनस 0.4x is equal to, on the right hand side the number is 3.2, so I'm going to copy, and this 1.8 I'm going to bring, I'm going to transpose on the right hand side. तो इसको फिर से खींचेंगे और ये प्लस 1.8 खींचने में माइनस 1.8 हो जाएगा. So minus minus will be plus 0.3 plus 0.4 will be 0.7 and the sign will be of minus because we have 0.4 as a greater number with minus sign is equal to, when you subtract this, so let me do it separately for you, 3.2 minus 1.8. We all know how to do, have to borrow one number, so it will become 12 and here When we borrowed one number from here, so it is left with one less number, that is 2. So 12 minus 8 would be 4 and 2 minus 1 would be 1. So the answer is 1.4. Yes. Now, when you have to isolate the x, because this is one step equation, only one operation involved. So we have to do the undo of the operation, which is division. So this would be this whole integer minus 0.7 will come to the right hand side, and this whole integer, if you see, this whole integer is getting multiplied with this variable x. So on the other side it would be divided. Now you can simply see, because we have one decimal places in the numerator as well as in the denominator, so we can simply remove, and when we cancel it out, it is 2. So x is equal to what? Minus 2 is the answer. I hope there is no problem in this question. You can once go through. Hey, I believe that your concepts are clear after watching the video. In the next video, we are going to solve few more questions of this exercise. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, and do watch my videos. Till then, bye-bye, sayonara.